Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. So if you recall, back at the very beginning of this session in the intro, we talked about all of the different things that we were going to cover throughout the session, and water was never mentioned. But after the last few videos, we kind of talked about having some water in the scene would make it easier for us to distinguish what exactly was beaches, where were the trenches and all up under, that made up the ocean floor and all. So Lee decided that we'd get some water going, and that is exactly what we're going to do in this video. So now, Lee, are we going to use some standard water, some pro water, some custom water, some imported water? What do you got in mind?
No, we're going to just stick with the pro water. Coming up with our own custom water, is really, really cool. It is kind of a complex topic all in of itself, and at some point that will probably turn into its own set of R&D video series.
Okay.
As we explore some stuff. Now, I'm trying to minimize stuff on your computer, but it wasn't playing there for a second.
Oh, that's awesome. While you were doing that, I had actually taken the mouse over to the side because, as you know, before this last video, I did some adjustment on audio, and you were just a little too low, so I was adjusting audio while you were trying to collapse things with your own mouse, though my mouse had completely removed focus from Unity. That's pretty funny.
Ah, so that's what's going on.
Sorry about that. That was my fault.
Well, that's all right. I turned on the remote cursor, so now I can see if the cursor
is gone or not.
Right.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. So let's get the water. It's like going, well, I am looking forward to playing with some custom water. We're going to, kind of cheat and just use the pro water.
Well, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Come on. We really just want to see where water would be at. So we can say, right. Yes, that is a beach. And your new formula for calculating how beaches are going to look is working.
Right, and if you don't have Pro, just select the standard water instead. So,
but it won't look as then cool pull out your credit card and buy Pro because it's got some cool features and it's 20% off. I'm just saying. I don't work for the company. I'm just saying it's
Well, let's figure out where we put our character last as well. Okay, good. So at the world origin. So here's our Pro only water. I'm going to go ahead and close some other stuff. And we've got our daylight water, we've got our nighttime water, and we have our new water 3 example, which is the supposedly super new, cool, deforming water supplied with Unity.
Dun, dun, dun.
I haven't played with this yet, so let's see if we can...
This is what I call R&D, oh boy.
Well, okay, I lied. I did play with it a little bit.
You were scaring me. It's like, oh, this is going to be horrible.
Well, I dragged it in, one other one. So I do know it actually deforms. What I've not played with is all the settings that are inside of this.
Gotcha.
So, like all of these settings.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, there's all kinds of really cool things.
I haven't even seen this yet.
Oh, it's nifty. But I haven't gone through and figured out what all of these new things do. But it does animate, and it goes up and down and stuff like that.
It does water type stuff, yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like more realistic water. The cool thing is because we're using so little draw calls, when this adds like 5,000 more draw calls or something, it should still be okay. So, but you never know. So let's see what happens. And I also don't have any idea as for relation of scale, how big this is going to be compared to the rest of our world.
All right.
But I do know that if I zoom in on our character, it's going to go out a little ways, but I don't think it'll go out as far as our whole world. But let's go ahead and hit play and see what happens.
Cool. So we're relatively close to water, you think? Man, I'm gonna end up having you throw a compass in before it's over with.
Well, it doesn't matter because
you've got
go ahead
numbers?
And stop. No.
Oh,
even better.
Oh, well, better's good. You're just gonna raise it up so everything's flooded?
Yeah.
How'd I guess?
It's like, well, it is water, right? So, you stopped it.
I thought you said stop.
No, I meant for you to stop moving around.
Lee, be more specific.
How am I supposed to figure out where the land is and water is if I don't have land?
Okay. So would you like for me to do this? Hang on.
If you want, that's fine.
And then here. Now that you can actually control it because you're not stuck in the play, help yourself.
All right. Well, let's try. What was our altitude? Currently, we are sitting at
72.
72. So I think a beach would be really. Oh, there goes my phone.
Oh, don't worry about that. Let's keep going.
And let's raise water up to 70.
70?
Then that doesn't seem to be enough. 72.
71. Ooh, oh, that's creepy looking. We got
So there's our
pools.
water, but its wave is coming in and it's actually displacing. So let's go 75. So now you're underwater.
I see that. Nice.
So, yep. So you'll have to run up and get out of the water.
All right, here we go. So some gigantous waves coming in.
Yeah, scale's not exactly right.
Right. So what did this do to our stats? I'm sorry, I'm just kind of curious. Wow.
Yeah, pretty much killed them.
Yeah, it all depends on the mood. Hey, we're still only at 106 draw calls. We don't have 25,000 of those going. So, I mean, that's good. But, yeah, frames per second anywhere between, well, now 200, 155, 63, and all the way down to 13, depending on what the reflection, refraction, and all that that's taking place. And they let that wave get by. There we go. Now, with that wave gone, we're back up to 200 frames a second. So it all depends on at what state the wave's in. Let's go and turn that off. All right.
So let's go ahead and stop it for now. We're going to get rid of this water.
All right. So I'll go ahead and throw this back up there. Stop. It's all yours.
Okay. Well, this water is kind of cool and play with it. And let's go back to our regular Pro Daylight water for now.
Okay.
So we've got this.
You know an altitude now.
Well, it's actually a lot smaller.
I see that.
So I'm going to take this and let's go up to 100 by 100.
Still want to bring it up to 72 or?
No. I'm going to move our character closer to water.
So we can look at real beaches because that was going to be my next question anyways.
Yes.
So you went
That's why I'm switching this. So
you went from 1 to, 100? Now you jumped up to 8,000?
Yeah, because I realized that we're going to have to start moving our character around in the world.
Large distances.
Yes,
Perfect.
so let's go ahead and make sure, because right now we're fairly high up, so I think we're going to end up moving almost 1,000 units south.
Okay.
At some point, and we'll just do some hit and miss stuff until we find the beaches.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, let's see what we get.
Because the other thing that's really kind of hard to make that guess is because... All right.
Here you go. I'll let you index out of range exception.
That's probably because we don't check to make sure our modulus is less than -0. Terrain generator. Yeah, it's in the terrain generator, all right.
Hey, so we've got a bug. All right. Ignore.
Yeah, it's actually upset about the position.
Holy. Well, we don't. Let's troubleshoot that. Do you want to pause now and take a look at it? I don't want to use a lot of camera recording time for troubleshooting, or do you want to move us a little bit more north and adjust the water? Which one do you want to do?
No, actually.
Or do you see the problem?
Yeah, I do. We do need the less than zeros. You know why?
Why is that?
Because our scaled X, we can actually get -X.
Oh,
so
man.
we do need the negative, and once we go less than 0, we have to subtract it from our right side. So there was a reason I put that in there.
Congratulations, Lee. Good job. All I saw was the modulus by, and we're going to have negative numbers just because.
Yeah, but I forgot because we can literally be in negative space or negative X and Z. we have to deal with that and subtract it. There was a reason why that was in there.
All right, let's save that out. It is. Let's go ahead and jump back over here. Uh-oh, hang on. I think
But,
a marker key managed to get hit with whatever key you hit last.
Control Z was all I hit.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's just do that. And I don't know why it got kicked over into marker mode. It should not have. But let's come back over here. Let's put this guy back up for at the moment. And 1,000 good. Let's just run it. Oh, good times. This is what happens when we record during the day.
Yeah. See, we're even more, messed up schedule-wise than we were before.
Oh, so true. Okay, so you know where we're at? Which way do I need to run? I don't have a compass, so I don't really know.
Well, what's funny is altitude-wise, we're even further higher than we were before.
Yes, we are.
All right, so let's pause this. I'm going to throw us into the ocean, hopefully.
All right, paused.
All right, so just to see if we can find some ocean. So let's go to about 25,000 or no, 25,000.
We're going to be splitting the world just a fraction of a hair at this point?
Huh? What?
Well, it won't be anything that they'd be able to see.
And 7.
We need a bookmark system soon.
Yeah, put that in the list. All right, let's go ahead and play. Yep, play that.
Whoa, we're in the ocean.
Yeah, we are. But we're also beneath the world.
Yes, we are.
Where were you? Did you pause it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. We got to stop it.
Your exact words, and I have this now in a recorded format that I can play back is, okay, pause it. I try to be a good little navigator for you. Pause means pause.
Yeah. And I fail miserably. I'm not awake yet. It's like,
good enough.
I don't wake up until like 1 in the morning. All right, that's 30,000. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's
see what we get.
Cat.
Okay, so now that our elevation is up there,
we're even higher.
We're even higher, but we are, according to our thing, out where water should be.
Yeah.
Are we underwater? No. Not with elevations like that. Do we have noise in here that's being... Do we still have crazy height numbers?
Yeah, we got crazy height numbers.
Ooh, shame on us.
Yeah. Well, you like high mountains.
I like high mountains, but I like the high mountains. It's almost like you need to take a look at the sample data to begin with. We'll talk about that off camera.
Well, go ahead and pause it.
Stop it?
Yeah, stop it.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, now.
Just the other day, you were so awesome at throwing in X and Z numbers that put us, you were like, watch this, Scotland. Tick, 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 boom, we were in Scotland. Watch this.
Oh, yeah, and I said put you in the ocean. We are in the ocean.
Okay.
The only problem that we have right now is the fact that we adjusted the map height, but we're still doing the crazy, stupid multiplication of
not that bad, though. Just 1024, not 16K,
That's true. So, yeah, we're not using that one, but we took our map, which is textures.
Oh, we did push the actual texture.
Data, yeah, because we wanted to get higher numbers. So
yeah, that's true.
Our alpha here. So all this area, which is our normal ocean,
is 68%. So we are above sea level for all of it. Yeah, good point.
So we'll have to go in here and create a new layer, paste down our level, and then go ahead and do an adjustment. We need to bring down our whites. Do I want to do it this way, or do I want to adjust this one? Yeah, I want to adjust this one. That way we can still get some noise there. So that puts us at 47%. Getting closer. Let's go a little bit.
There we go.
So
yeah, above sea level there. Good.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, down to the 40s and all. That might be nice and perfect.
We'll see what happens. There's probably some reason why it'll mess up.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just because that's the way it's going today for me.
Let's just call it my fault.
No, no, actually, I'll take the blame for today.
Oh, man. I just felt like getting blamed today, but all right.
Well, no, I'm sure there's other things that
Oh, there
you'll.
always is. Yeah, let's replace that bad boy there. Saved out. And, yep. 32 bits, okie doke. I accept compress RLE. Okay.
All right, then we can get back over to here.
And there it
Okay.
goes. Let's see.
Now we should still be out in the ocean.
Boom. Hey, all right, let's take a look at where our character's at. Hey, we're up underwater.
Yep.
Now, do
And
you
it
want to?
is fairly flat, which we expect
Yes.
because we're so close to underwater.
Right.
So now if we stop and then we go to 0, at these numbers, probably about minus 100 will get us close enough to
Okay.
the coastline. If we're not already underwater, I might have to go the other way.
Ooh. -5. I definitely saw some water as, yeah, but
Yep. All right.
let me try zooming in on this little mini map to see. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm just kidding.
Did you say something?
Nope,
I'm
not at
sorry.
all.
I kind of zoned out there for a little
Oh,
bit.
I'm so used to it, Lee. It's all good. Splashdown.
And we're still underwater,
Yes,
so
we are.
we've got to go further north. I'll find the beach yet. Well, there's no road signs either, so it does make it kind of hard. And I don't live in the UK, and I've never visited there, so I don't really know where the coastline is.
Hey, I see my head. Sweet. Which way to the
Okay.
nearest beach? Yeah. Lee, you've got me pretty far out at sea still. I don't. All right. Hey, if you go much. Wait.
What?
Oh, hang on. That was just the camera. I thought for a second I had actually jumped out on flat land. Okay, now where do you want to take us? Further north is going to
Further.
put us into that bay, or so it seems, but we'll try it.
Well, I'm going to go.
Oh, crap. Yeah, you are.
Like I said, right now the image numbers that are the actual world generator with noise is much different than the one I'm using in my R&D. So guessing where it is. See, we're still
You're
not
still.
getting.
All right, hang on. Go just north a little bit more, maybe? Or is all that stuff underwater? Ah, we're going to have to play with numbers later in Photoshop. But go ahead.
Yep.
Maybe 15,000? Or are you going back over to Photoshop
Now I'm going to go over here.
and adjust our altitude? Okay, cool.
So we can get some more.
Height out of the whole thing.
Yeah, because I think with our Photoshop file, we're not adjusted quite right. There's a lot of back and forth with that Photoshop file, your noise layers, to get the result you're looking for.
All right, now that you've pushed me way inland,
Yep.
get my butt back to sea. Or back to a beach if you can.
So let's try 100.
All right.
Getting
right.
closer. What is
Sure.
our altitude? Oh, you're underwater.
I sure am. Hang on. It's like, what's the highest peak and how high can I climb?
Run
Not-
north.
Not well. I don't have a compass. Which way? Hang on.
Well, when you start in, you're north. Well, here, watch.
Yeah, we're going. We're going.
I was going to say, just look at
You
your
wanna-
scene view. Because if you bring
No,
up your
that's
scene
true.
view, you can figure out which way you're running. Okay, so hit the top down.
Hang on. I'm just going to try to get a feel for. We're going to be underwater for a while, dude. No, I'm not going to keep running. That's all
Yeah.
underwater.
All right, well, here, hit top.
I'm going to.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Let me drag us back over. You guys can just fast forward through all of this back and forth fun in the
This
sun.
it's awesome fun.
Let me get this Zach just logged in the team viewer thing off. There we go. All right, you ready?
Yep.
and underwater,
You're
but
still underwater still.
I don't
Nope.
think.
Now you're running south. You'll be running out to sea.
But I'm going up, up. I was just looking for the top of something to get on that would maybe get me high enough to see, but no.
All right. So
Yeah, this is pretty funny. And the only reason I say that is because when you were working with the maps before you adjusted them to the new way, you really did know your way around.
yeah.
Yeah, but now, well, we'll see.
Well, you got to remember we're using the different noises that I'm using on my system,
Right.
and your UK map's been shifted a lot
Correct.
different than the one I'm using because I reshifted based off of the.
The nice thing is now I can
Yeah, now these hills are long enough that you can probably get above
maybe.
sea level.
Eesh. Need a snorkel. Just saying. You want to try some new numbers for me? This isn't quite cutting it. We're still going to be. Want to go back to your 100 and see if that works for us?
Well, that'll be further south, so let's do 10,000. 15,000 puts us way up into the highlands of Scotland.
I got you. Lee, we're still underwater. Why are we always underwater?
Well, you know, because we like diving so much, I thought.
This is true, but I'm starting to. Are you sure that your algorithm's not just like saying screw it and pushing everything underwater?
Well, I think partially it is. Let's go ahead and stop. We can adjust our little Photoshop file some more
Okay.
because our numbers here are still really close. So let's go hit Control-Alt-Z a couple of times. I should be able to get my levels back.
Yep.
All right, so
That would help. 57 still above.
right. But for some reason, with 57 above, with the noise that we've got going on,
Oh, okay,
it's
okay.
still pushing it under. So I'm trying to gradually
Okay.
bring it down. But I don't want this to be any higher than 60. But I wanted to get it a little bit closer.
I got you.
So,
Well, at this point, Lee, we have actually turned this into what we were talking about doing originally with just pure R&D, where we're going to be messing with a lot of stuff. Awesome.
yeah, we are definitely
So
messing
here I
with.
am feeling bad about we're doing all this tweaking. I just had to remind myself, stop feeling bad. This is what we discussed to begin with. This was the only way we'd be able to do this. All right. World data, replace. Good to go. Just okie and jump back over. Let it import, update, and you still want to leave this at 10,000
Yeah,
or jump
I
back?
want to. Well, I want to see if we're actually above sea
Knowing how
level.
far north we are, that we should be up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to build my home right there. Oh yeah, we're up in the mountains, my friend. 342 meters worth up in the mountains. It's awesome.
Okay. So we're closer.
Okay.
Still, our numbers are exaggerated. So let's get closer down the sea level. Whoops, 100.
Okay. All right. So we're definitely closer at 149
But now I can adjust some of the
altitude with our max height.
Yep.
There you go. Bring it back down to around 8K. Oh, okay. Oh, all the way down. Look at you
Yeah,
go.
just see what happens. Because once all the numbers are dialed in, 1024 should be all the height you need to have to get really nice tall mountains. And
I gotcha. All
All
right.
right, we're close. So south should be the way to go. So let's pause it real quick, or
Yep.
stop it.
All right, because that still may be miles away. All right.
And you're facing north, so
Want me to run this way?
yep. Because over here, I don't know
Over
if you
here
can
is in, hang on, escape.
to your left,
All right, use your mouse.
over this way,
Okay.
should be the direction of water.
So, da, 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 da.
Looking at the Z numbers. Okay, too far away. Stop.
Are they out flying the F-18s?
Yeah, they're flying the F-18s today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, unless you've lived underneath them for 16 years.
Have you lived there that long?
Yeah.
Wow. We're at a higher altitude now, and I don't know where
Yeah.
to run.
Yeah, we're still borderline. Well, we can go out by the Isle of Man, which is negative 3,400.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we're going to send you my image, so we might want to pause this while
Okay.
we...
hang on one second. Is that terrain I'm seeing way out there? Because I don't think you have fog in this, or is that water?
No, there's no fog on there. And
So
what I'm seeing is the sky color.
the dark at the bottom?
Oh, okay. I might see it. I'm not quite sure what's artifacting from the edge of the terrain and what's not.
Oh, I think that is water. I think the terrain is building itself out in the distance, right on top of it. Okay.
So you can't see it.
Yep. All right, let's go and do this. I'll pause. You can send that over, and we'll get that and replace it. So here we go. Well, hang on. I don't think we actually paused yet because you moved the mouse when I moved the mouse. Let's see. Try again. Okay, that should have unpaused us, and it did. So we're back. And interesting little bug that Lee discovered. So for those of you that did stick around all the way up to this point while you watched Lee adjust numbers trying to match up with some of the numbers that he was used to working with over on his system and failing miserably at getting something that looked identical. He then began, after moving his map over to ours, which we can take a look at. This is his world data map, which, to be honest, is the only thing that's really different. Lee, it looks like you did a little bit of playing with your noises.
Right. If we actually select on all the channels, you can see it's very 1960s looking. And the reason why it looks that way is because I have multiple channels of noise that have different noise, different patterns of noise on them. So this is my low frequency noise, followed by my medium frequency noise, and then my high frequency noise. And then, of course, our alpha map.
And even then, that's been adjusted quite a bit because you really brought out all of the upper levels on the islands themselves.
Right. And if you look on the ocean, we're at 39. But over here, I've pushed the white levels almost all the way up to pure white.
I actually saw 100% a second ago somewhere over there.
Yeah. There it is. Because when I was adjusting it, I was adjusting my sliders till I got the very first pixel of 100% white.
Mm-hmm. But now, unfortunately, after getting this over here, let me preface the whole thing with this. Keep in mind that while Lee does all of the R&D that takes many, many hours over on his computer, when he begins over here, he keeps his notes as a close reference on one of his other monitors. But everything is coded from scratch and back up. And that also means that while working with the Photoshop file, he's not reproducing the exact same thing as evident here. It's just all being done live, and you guys see the result of it because, again, these are all just R&D videos. But this time around, the results that Lee kept getting were so far off back over here in Unity that Lee finally said, all right, and this all took place, of course, during the pause just a few minutes ago. So there's got to be something different in code. And there was. It's I'll let Lee explain.
Well, it's kind of a precision problem, and our problem falls in here. So if anybody's familiar with floats and integers, if you take an integer and you divide it by another integer, what you get back is an integer and not a float. And seeing as how we expect to get
Well, all of our scales, we're looking at float values that we
Right.
are using.
Right. And with this, can you bring up the calculator for me real quick?
I sure can.
We're expecting a very, very small number to the order of 2048 divided by
80,000.
80,000 gives us 0.0256. That's a very small number. The problem is if you take 248 as an integer and divide it by 80,000 as an integer, your result is 0. So if you take our final blend equation here and then take 0, multiply it by our weight, we've effectively taken our UK height map mask that we're using and ruling it out of the equation. So all we get back is just the noise part of it. And then we go through everything else. So all we were getting was the noise. And the problem, I couldn't find any recognizable landmarks as I was dialing in all the numbers, was there were no landmarks. All we had was noise. So I couldn't find anything.
And hang on, just before we get much further from here, in all fairness, so that you don't accidentally say something wrong and I ask you about it after we get done, you highlighted this and you pointed to H5 saying that we were going to get none of that. So I'm just making sure I understand, because S5 was 0 and S5 came into play here.
Right. So we're sampling by S5, which is our scale of 0. So we're sampling at the same spot over and over again. So our scales, when we come in here, we're taking 0, taking X, and multiplying it by 0, so 0 plus half map size. So it's the pixel at the very center of the world. So while it's not actually 0 here,
okay, good,
it's the same pixel, which is roughly about 50% gray in the way we've got it scaled. So you're right, it is not 0, but it's a non-changing value.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not giving us the predictable result, which I'm happy to say. I'm glad we decided to get water put in now, because that made it a lot easier for us to verify that algorithms are working properly, that our scales and noise maps are working properly, making sure that beaches look proper, which now that you have this in, if I just go ahead and hit Control S, that's the only thing Lee has changed, is he just added
turn them the floats.
That's right, just turn them the floats. If I now jump back over into Unity, now let's verify, Lee. Right. Is this where you want us to be?
Right at negative 1930 should be right on the water edge of a nice beach.
Okay. We may want to consider putting this target file up in the classroom so that everybody has the exact same thing. For those people that like to follow along character by character.
I will. I did it with the other maps eventually.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so
those are up there. They've got the mini map. They've got the icon as well. So if they want to follow along, they've got those assets to work with.
Outstanding. Now, you were shooting to have us right on the beach with those numbers. And if I look over here to the right, I'll be darned, we're on the beach. And look at that. Nice smooth transition into water.
Right. Now, something I wanted, if you look over towards the hills.
A little bit of unhappy fighting right there. Over towards the hills, yes.
Now, so you can see that our beach is kind of wide, and we've got this really gradual slope up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I said we've got a number in there that allows us to control this transition from the water's edge to the hills.
Okay, cool. So is that something you can demonstrate now?
Yep. And I'm also going to modify it. Well, I wanted to modify
Oh,
something else
sorry.
as well, but that's all right. We'll go back after that.
Two people
The
fighting over the mouse at the same time. Loads of fun.
Yep. Bias value. This is the value that's going to control the transition rate from sea level into the mountains. So if you use a number less than 1, you're going to make a much larger beach, or that transition area is going to take a much longer time to happen. Whereas if you use a number that's greater than 1, you're going to shorten that transition period. So we're going to go with a value of 2 for bias right now. And then we'll jump back over.
Now, do you need that to be 2F or anything, or?
Not for multiplication
Okay.
because of a whole number. But if you wanted to use a 1.5, then yes, you would need it.
Okay.
Either way.
Only reason I asked is because you typed 0.5 in just a second ago.
Right.
Okay.
So from here,
Back over into Unity.
back over. Right. Now, to handle the Z fighting, what I found is while 0 is technically sea level, because our numbers work out that that's almost perfectly flat at 0, it is helpful to take our height of our water and set it to -1.
Cool.
This pushes it down, but it takes care of most of the Z fighting issue. So if we hit play, that's what I was trying to do before you jumped over.
I gotcha. So again, we should have a beach right off to the right, and we do. Now, all right, first of all, I'm going to run along the beach again to see how the fighting looks. Yeah, big difference.
Now, if you look at the beaches, you can also see that they're narrower.
Yep.
And that hill has gotten larger faster.
So what if you push it up to, like 4 or something?
Well, how about we just go there and say 10?
Oh, look at you. All right. Whoa, the mountain's right up on top of us now. And
right.
very,
but we still have a beach.
We do have a beach. Awesome. Yeah,
So,
I like it. Nice control. Very cool. Outstanding. Let's run around here real quick.
And that was the whole point of splitting up that algorithm, because before we had no control of how narrow or how wide to make the beach.
Very, very cool. I like it. Outstanding. All right, Lee, is there anything else in this video that you wanted to go over?
No, I think I've effectively screwed up enough things.
Oh, come on, man.
Video.
R&D, everybody's just hanging out. That's all we're doing. Hanging out, camera over your shoulder, and you're just playing with stuff, experimenting. Very nice. I like it. And you now have proven that the beaches are working properly, and you've proven that the bias is working properly. And I also like the fact that we're now working with the same world data, both on my machine and your machine, so we should have results that are very predictable between the two. Which means once you go back to typing in your own X, Y, and Z numbers, wanting to put us into some place specific based off what you are comfortable working with on your machine, we should have predictable results.
Same thing.
Yep,
right.
Exactly.
And the other thing, well, at least until it varies, but the reason we keep your machine static and only make the changes as we do the videos is so we've got a consistent starting point between each set of videos.
Absolutely.
Because my code changes so radically and so often, being able to roll back to a starting point if we're working off the same live code base would be pretty much impossible. So,
I mean, there has been several times now that you've asked me to send you a most recent copy of the content that's been created on video so that you can, get your stuff merged properly and decide,
Right.
you know, which way we're going to branch next, which is pretty cool.
Right. And that way I can also look at what things I've changed since that last video.
To decide as to what
So,
we're going to record next.
well, that and that because I'll actually put comments in my code that
I
go,
don't believe
yeah,
that.
I do. I really do. I put comments in that say, okay, add this to the video or remove this from the video set of code. So that's how I keep my notes and why I jump back and forth from screen to screen. But it sometimes bites me because I start typing on the wrong screen a lot.
I noticed. That's actually pretty funny when you do that. Now, since this pretty much wraps up everything for this video, starting in the next video, if I recall back in the introduction, after we got done with all of the cleanup required for the terrain generator, which we've done all of that, and now we've gone a step beyond and added water, which helped us identify some issues. Now we're going to move into your new config.ini file.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, with that, that is going to conclude this video. Thank you very much for bearing with us as we got all of this straightened out, and we'll see you in the next video.